OK, thank you, Mike. And Jamie, breaking news just reaching us from Stamford Bridge now.
Another assist from Brighton. Verbruggen again. I think it's his second assist. The goalkeeper for Brighton are unbelievable. How bad are they? The manager has to have a look at this. Or either defending on their halfway line with Duncan and Webster, who can't run and get back in, or they're playing out from the back and they're giving it to the very exciting players like Chelsea have, and they want to give it to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, I mean, they pass the ball around. Cole Palmer just holds the line. It's a great pass in. We're giving it to Sanchez. We know he can see a pass. He times it brilliantly. He hits it first time with his left foot. Verbruggen has absolutely no chance. That's his fourth goal. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what I'm watching. The high line and the tactics of both teams, really, just to give the ball to the opposition in the final third, time and time again. It's extraordinary.
Well, he's improving the players and he's definitely improving Chelsea, that is for sure. And most whatever he says, when he's sitting second in the Premier League in December, you are definitely in the title race. For how long we will discuss. But it was interesting listening to the Chelsea chants after that emphatic win against Southampton. And they were chanting, "We've got our Chelsea back." Is that what you've seen from Chelsea so far this season under Maresca?
I would say that 100%. I think he's been outstanding as a manager. I think he really has. I thought his biggest problem would be with the squad he had, and it's a big squad, and then there's not much between all the players. Do you know what I mean? It's not. Sometimes you get a big squad, and you'll get 11 or 12 players that are much, much better than the rest. That's not the case at Chelsea. There's a lot of players that are around the same, and I thought it would take him so long to get his best team. I thought he'd be swapping and
how's he done it? Because at the start of the season, that's all we were discussing.
You know what he's done well? I didn't agree with the Sterling thing at the start of the season.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was a bit harsh. But he went, yeah, I'm in charge, bang. You know, bang, you're out. I don't want you, you're not in it. It might have been the board, it might have been the owners who said you've got to get rid of him. But he showed a lot for him to do it. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people might have gone, no, don't do that. You know, I wouldn't advise you to do that. He's gone and done that. He picked his team. He's kept with his team. He made a big decision midweek. Southampton ain't very good. He makes 6 changes and they're going 5 different scorers. They'll all be back for this weekend. He has done an unbelievable job. I mean, Pochettino was there, and for time after time, you never knew what his team was going to be.
Every time you watch him play, he's not the Cole Palmer we saw at the start of the season, and he's not the Cole Palmer we saw last season. Chelsea are in a real blip at the moment. However, we did show, I'm a Chelsea fan, and we did show some really positive signs against Villa. You know, on another day, he should have scored that one-on-one. Cole Palmer normally, that's meet and drink. You know, that is such a simple chance for a Cole Palmer vibe of player. But he has been very frustrating. But unfortunately, it goes back to what I said earlier. Southampton and Leicester are just... I personally, one of my tactics this year has been whoever's playing Ipswich, Southampton and Leicester, can I get one of those players in for that game week? Does it make sense? And Palmer's playing those two. He's playing Southampton and Leicester coming up, and he could easily get a 15-pointer there. You know, Chelsea looked really good against Villa at times, and it's a different kettle of fish coming up against Southampton. No disrespect to them, but defensively they look so open. And for me, Cole Palmer could get 2 goals in the first half and then run riot. So if I'm you, I keep Cole Palmer definitely for the next 2 games. If you can afford to buy him for the next 2 weeks, then also really consider that, but definitely do not sell this bloke. This bloke has huge potential over the next 2 game weeks, and I think you'll be kicking yourself if you take him out.
ENZO Maresca is worried that Chelsea's over-reliance on Cole Palmer could be affecting the England international's form. Palmer hasn't scored in his last 6 games, and Chelsea have lost 4 of them.
I'm not concerned about Cole because Cole is a human being. And during the season he can have some moment where he struggles a little bit more. The problem is with Cole is probably that we rely on Cole for everything, and I said since we start that we need to rely on the team. For sure we need big players, top players like Cole, but we are not worried about Cole at all. The other day I think yes, he had a great chance. But overall, the performance from Cole, as I said, every game we expect from him goal or assist. So it's difficult. He's human being, he's player, and in this moment probably his performance also reflects a little bit the team performance that we struggle to score goals, and we need to be a little bit more clinical when we get the chances.
So, has there been a drop-off? Well, in his first 13 games of the season, Palmer scored 8 goals. In his last 13, he scored 6, so pretty similar numbers. But in terms of assists, the difference is stark. He's created 6 goals. He did that in the first half of the season, none since. Now, that's despite creating exactly the same number of chances. The XG backs up those numbers. His expected goals is similar, but his expected assists suggest that Chelsea are simply not taking the chances he creates. Well, Chelsea's form has definitely dropped off. When they played Everton just before Christmas, they had the chance to go top. They're now 7th.
Sometimes it's football. Sometimes there is a reason why in behind. We are trying to understand a little bit. Again, the good thing is that at least you were in front in these kind of games. Now is the other part. When you are in front, try to protect that. And in almost all these kind of games, yes, we analyzed that we had chances from 1-0 to go 2-0, from 0-1 to go 0-2, and we miss more than once. Even the other day against Villa, first half we have 4 or 5 chances to go 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. At the end, you miss. The game is always open, and anything can happen. But for sure, it's something that we need to understand.
Need to understand, says ENZO Maresca. Well, our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is back. Why have the wheels come off for Chelsea?
Good question. Look, it's undeniable Chelsea are in a bad run of form at the moment. Just 2 months ago, they were second in the Premier League. People were talking about them being title contenders. ENZO Maresca totally downplayed that. I think since then, their form hasn't been great. Some of their main players have been out of form. I think one of the main reasons for this bad patch is injuries. If you look at it, ENZO Maresca is without, I think, around 8 first-team players at the moment. Players like Fofana, Jackson, Lavia, Chalobah is going to be out as well. And the other important thing to remember is that Chelsea have a very young, developing squad. And when you are dealing with young players, they are always going to go through periods when they lose their form. So I think nobody at Chelsea is hitting the panic button at the moment. Yes, everybody at the club accepts that performances and results haven't been good enough. I think the performance against Aston Villa was improved. They did end up losing that game, but that was really because the goalkeeper made a mistake right at the end of the match. But I think ENZO Maresca knows that the target is to qualify for the Champions League. That is what Chelsea need to do. And I think if they win the majority of their home games, starting with Southampton tomorrow night, then they can still make it. Because finishing 5th may get you in the Champions League, probably will get you in the Champions League this season.
Yeah, it will. Kaveh, you've made a very good case for Maresca and Chelsea. Some would say you've made excuses for him. Are the Chelsea fans buying that, though?
Right, so you want me to put the other side of the argument?
I do.
The other side of the argument, I can actually put that quite well, because I know a lot of Chelsea supporters, and the majority of them are very unhappy at the moment. They feel there is a sort of disconnection between the fans and the club. They were used to having a lot of success under the previous owner, Roman Abramovich. But of course, times have changed. There is no unlimited cash at Chelsea anymore. And even if there was, we've got financial fair play, we've got PSR. The owners cannot go out and just buy the best players in the world. So I understand the fans are unhappy. I think the message from the owners to them is, let's stick together. We hear you're unhappy. We know why you are unhappy. We are trying to address those concerns. But we have a very, very young squad at the moment, and it's very important that you don't turn on the players.